Men, let's talk about the bedroom. Not the size of it, not the color of your sheets, not even the way your body looks when the lights go off. I want to talk about the one place where masks fall off, where ego fades, and where the truth of who you really are is revealed. Because here's the reality, what you do in the bedroom says more about you than your car, your bank account, or your social media presence ever will. Women don't just remember the moves, they remember how you made them feel. The bedroom is not a stage to perform. It is the truest mirror of your character. Men who are remembered, men who are cherished, men who are valued, are not the ones who come with the loudest confidence, but the ones who bring presence, depth, and emotional connection. If you've ever wondered why some men leave an imprint on women's hearts long after the lights go out, it's not because of inches, tricks, or performance. It's because of something much deeper. And today, I'm going to show you 6 things that men who truly stand out in the bedroom do differently. Things that separate boys from men, players from kings, and shallow encounters from unforgettable connections. Men, let me tell you this straight, women don't remember performances. They remember presence. Too many men have been brainwashed into thinking intimacy is about techniques, rehearsed moves, or how long they can last. You watch videos, you hear locker, room talk, you compare yourself to men you'll never meet. And because of that, you go into the bedroom with pressure, with anxiety, with a checklist of things to prove, rather than a heart ready to connect. Here's the truth, women don't crave performance, they crave presence. Presence is when you slow down enough to notice her, not just touch her. Presence is when you're not thinking about what's next. You're not trying to impress. You're not in your head. You're there in that exact moment with her, and nothing else exists. When a man is fully present, a woman feels it in her soul. She feels seen, valued, cherished. She doesn't feel like an object of your release. She feels like the only person in your world. And that is unforgettable. Think about it. When was the last time you looked into a woman's eyes and stayed there long enough for her to feel naked, not just in body, but in spirit? When was the last time you touched her in a way that wasn't rushed? That wasn't about getting somewhere, but simply about enjoying her. Presence means you are not distracted by your phone, your ego, or your insecurities. It means you aren't comparing yourself to someone else. It means you've shut out the noise of the world and given her your undivided attention. That kind of focus is rare today, and that's why it's so powerful. Because here's what most men don't realize. Performance fades. Tricks get old. Techniques are forgotten. But the memory of a man who made her feel deeply connected, safe, and important, that lingers forever. So stop worrying about whether you're enough. Stop obsessing over how you compare to someone else. The most magnetic men are not the most skilled performers. They are the most present lovers. If you want to stand out in the bedroom, if you want to be the man she remembers years from now, then don't focus on the moves. Focus on her. Be present. That is where true power lies. Men, listen carefully before passion, before pleasure, before anything physical. There must be safety. And I'm not just talking about physical protection. I'm talking about emotional safety. Because here's the reality. No matter how strong or confident she appears in public, when a woman steps into intimacy, she is vulnerable. She is exposed. And the kind of man you reveal yourself to be in that moment will determine whether she opens up to you or shuts down forever. Emotional safety means she doesn't feel judged. It means she doesn't feel pressured. It means she can let go without fearing that you'll use her body and disregard her heart. And men, this is where most guys fail. They chase a physical connection without ever building an emotional foundation. They want the outcome without creating the environment. But let me tell you, when a woman feels emotionally safe with you, she will give you a version of herself that no one else gets to see. She will trust you. She will soften. She will allow intimacy to flow naturally, without fear, without hesitation. And that is when true connection begins. So how do you build that safety? It's in your tone. It's in your patience. It's in how you respond when she hesitates. It's in the way you touch her, slowly, gently, with intention, showing her she is not an object, but a person you value. It's in how you reassure her, Not with over the top words, but with consistent energy, calm, steady, grounded. A man who makes a woman feel safe becomes unforgettable, because in a world that constantly objectifies women, safety is rare. Most men rush, demand, or make her feel like she owes them something. But the man who says, you don't need to perform here, you don't need to hide here, you are safe with me, that man stands apart. Understand this, pleasure without safety is temporary. But intimacy with safety is eternal. She may forget the moves, she may forget the night, but she will never forget the man who made her feel protected, valued, and truly seen. Gentlemen, before you ever think about passion, think about safety. Create that space. Build that trust, because the most powerful intimacy does not come from your body. It comes from the security you give to her heart. Men, confidence is magnetic. But arrogance, that's poison. Too many men confuse the two. They think that being loud, dominant, or overly aggressive is what attracts a woman in the bedroom. They puff up their chest, act like they have something to prove, and try to control every moment. But let me tell you, a woman can sense arrogance from a mile away, and it immediately kills true intimacy. Confidence, on the other hand, is quiet. It doesn't need to announce itself. It doesn't need validation. It shows up in how you carry yourself, in the steadiness of your touch, in the calmness of your presence. Confidence whispers while arrogance screams. And women always lean into the whisper. Here's the truth. The most unforgettable men in the bedroom are not trying to dominate, and they're not trying to impress. They already know who they are. They know what they bring to the table. They don't need to prove themselves with performance tricks, and they don't need to seek approval. That inner assurance frees them to focus on her. Confidence also means not being rattled by mistakes. If something awkward happens, a confident man doesn't panic or lash out. He laughs, reassures, and keeps the moment light. That steadiness makes her trust him even more. Confidence is not about being perfect, it's about being grounded. Now here's the difference arrogance kicks, confidence gives. Arrogance is self-serving. It says, look at me, admire me, prove to me that I'm enough. Confidence says, I already know I'm enough. Now let me focus on making you feel that way too. That energy is powerful, and women can feel the difference instantly. Think about this. Who would you rather be remembered as? The man who came in demanding respect, or the man whose calm presence made her feel desired without pressure? Respect that is forced never lasts. Respect that is earned through authentic confidence is unforgettable. Men, the greatest strength you can have in the bedroom is quiet, steady confidence without the shadow of arrogance. Don't try to prove yourself. Don't try to perform for approval. Just be. When you know who you are, when you move with grounded assurance, she will feel it, and she will never forget it. Men, here's a truth that most of you have never been told. Women speak 1,000 languages in the bedroom, and very few of them are verbal. The men who stand out, the men who leave a mark, are not the ones who talk the most. They are the ones who listen, not just with their ears, but with their eyes, their hands, and their awareness. Listening without words means paying attention to the subtle signals she gives you. It's the way her breath changes, the way her body leans in or pulls back. It's the way her eyes close when something feels right, or the tension in her shoulders when something feels wrong. Most men miss these cues because they're trapped in their heads thinking about performance. They're too focused on what's next instead of what's happening right now. But the unforgettable men, the ones she remembers long after the night ends, are tuned in. They adjust when her body tells them to. They slow down when she needs gentleness. They lean in when she invites closeness. And they do all of this without her having to explain a single thing. That's not just intimacy, that's mastery. You see, women don't want to feel like they're instructing a man through a checklist. They don't want to feel like they're teaching someone to connect. They want a man who is so present, so aware, that he can read her energy as naturally as breathing. That level of attentiveness makes her feel not just desired, but deeply understood. And here's where most men go wrong. They mistake silence for passivity. They think listening means doing nothing. No, listening is an active skill. It means you are engaged, paying attention, moving with her, not against her. It's about showing her, without words, that you care enough to notice the little things. When a man listens without words, he communicates something powerful. I see you. I feel you. I value you. And women don't forget men who make them feel that way. So stop rehearsing speeches in your head. Stop thinking you need to talk your way into intimacy. True connection happens in the quiet moments, in the space where no words are spoken, but everything is understood. Men, learn to listen without words. That is how you create intimacy that goes beyond the physical into the unforgettable. Men, let's talk about generosity. Not money, not gifts, not expensive gestures, energy. Because in the bedroom, your energy is everything. And the truth is, most men are selfish with it. They enter intimacy thinking only about their own release, their own satisfaction, their own ego. They come to take, not to give. And while they may get what they want in that moment, they leave nothing behind. They leave no memory, no imprint, no impact. But the men who stand out, the men women can never forget, are the ones who give. They understand that intimacy is not a transaction, it's an exchange. It's not about using someone, it's about sharing something. And the more generous you are with your energy, the deeper the connection becomes. Generosity looks like this: slowing down when she needs more time, touching her in ways that make her feel adored, not just aroused. Asking yourself, how can I make her feel valued right now? Instead of, how can I get what I want right now? It's in the patience of your movements. It's in the way you pay attention to her comfort. It's in the way you make her feel that her pleasure, her emotions, and her presence matter to you as much as your own. That balance, that give and take, is what separates shallow encounters from unforgettable ones. And here's the beauty of generosity: when you give without keeping score, without expecting a return, something amazing happens. Women naturally want to give back. Energy multiplies when it flows both ways, but it starts with you. Too many men approach intimacy like a competition, as if there's a winner and a loser. But real men, men of substance, understand this: when she feels seen, satisfied, and cherished, you've already won. Understand this clearly. Selfishness makes the moment disappear. Generosity makes it echo in her memory. Generosity tells her, you matter to me beyond this moment. And that is the kind of man she doesn't forget.